Hey, what's up guys? NullRage here, taking a look at some changes coming for Gambit this week. In addition to War Machine and Cable 52 and the Carnage team-up, Gambit is also receiving a little bit of a tuning pass. This will include a few modifications to some of his skills, and then a set of changes to his uniques. His uniques have been powered up a little bit. Some of them, I think all of his slot 2, 3, 4, and 5 have all gained some plus to all powers in addition to a bunch of other skills. Here, we'll just run through them real quick. Now, these are not all of his uniques. I think there's maybe a couple that I'm missing, but these are the ones I have on hand. Here, let me hold Alt so you can see the max rolls on that, and you'll notice the new item compare or item roll system going on right now. But there's a look at Death's Black Staff. I'm not going to read all these off. I'll just let you guys have a look at the skills. There you go. Externals Mantle. The Blindfold. I don't even know how to say the beginning of that. There you go. And then you got the Marauder Boots. And then, again, not even going to attempt it. Alright, so all in all, they look pretty nice compared to what they were. Let's have a look at his skills and see how they have changed. Let's go ahead and activate a new power set and just throw some points in here to the melee and ranged trees. And just real quick, there we go.
Can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Damn right you can. Alright, so straight up bow strike is not very changed at all. It's just the same old. Oh, I don't have any dummies here. We'll just have to work with this guy or go over here. You know, just a basic attack doing some physical damage. Here we got bow beatdown. Now gains 40% instead of the, what was it before? Was it extra damage versus bosses or something? Anyway, 40% damage while Ace of Spades and Grand Slam are on cooldown. Ace of Spades and Grand Slam have been upgraded to these sort of like what they call mini signatures, but not really. They do some nice damage every 8 seconds. So you've got bow beatdown doing extra damage when they are on cooldown. There you go. Bow beatdown remains mostly the same as far as that just being your melee single target spirit spender. And you got bow vault remains mostly unchanged, just allowing you to jump around and do some damage while you do it. The animation has been sped up a little bit, but other than that, not too much changed with this skill. Alright, street sweep, doing some stun and energy damage, also applying vulnerability. I'm not sure if the vulnerability is new, but it remains mechanically the same as it used to. And I swear we'll get to some changes eventually, guys. So Savate Expert or Savat Expert, however you say it, remains mostly unchanged. Just giving you a little bit of melee power damage, some max health, and that incredibly useful regen when you hit with a melee power, and then a little bit of damage negated when you hit with a physical power. I think that last bit may be new, the damage negated when you hit with physical power. Alright, now we finally get to something that has changed significantly, and that's Grand Slam. It's no longer a charge up damage attack where you have to hold the button and charge it up and release it for a big damage smash. It is now a cooldown burst damage attack. Every 8 seconds you'll just do... Hey, use the move. There we go. So he'll just twirl his staff around on his own and then smash for some AoE damage. Let's go on over here. Alright, here it is one more time. Twirl, a couple of hits, and then smash for AoE damage. Doing some nice burst damage right there. And you can see it also has the effects of Grand Slam always deals a critical hit. It's also going to knock down. Now it's got a shared cooldown with Ace of Spades over here, which we'll talk about when we get to the ranged kinetic mastery tree. Then we've got All In. Now All In has been significantly upgraded with this patch, causing it to do damage 4 times per second and gain 1% damage per 1% of attack speed. So if you're into attack speed stacking and really want a really awesome skill, you can just, plow through lines of enemies while running around smacking them with your staff. It's really cool. And mechanically, it remains the same. You just run around hitting a bunch, but in as far as damage goes, it's going to be a much more significant power than it was before. Alright, then we've got Ace of Spades over here. Let's go ahead and get these on the bar real quick. Alright, that's good for now. Ace of Spades is your ranged, and we're getting into the range tree. This is going to be a lot of fun for me and probably for a lot of y'all, because the range Gambit has been something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and just hadn't quite cut the mustard. You were far better off doing melee, but now you're going to be able to do some range stuff. Alright, we've got Ace of Spades here doing some energy damage, and then stunning an enemy directly hit, then detonates for an additional energy damage tick. It used to... Let's see, did you just threw a card and then after a certain duration it exploded? It didn't really do any initial damage, maybe? Maybe it worked sort of the same way. But anyway, it's got the same Ace of Spades always deals a critical hit there on it, and that will cause it to do significantly more damage. There you go. And of course the 8-second cooldown, cementing it as a nice burst power. And you want to use that pretty much anytime it's up. Alright, next up we've got a wild card. This is his basic ranged attack, giving you 50% more damage, or this power does 50% more damage for 5 seconds after you spin Spirit with another power. So let's just do right there. There's a little bit of wild card. Now if we spin Spirit with another power, oh well, it did work. Alright, if we spin Spirit with another power, like Royal Flush here, then you can see we're charged up and ready to throw out a wild card, which is boosted, doing a little bit of damage, and it looks like it's even AoE damage. That's pretty cool. So it's just the first attack after. Oh no, it's multiple attacks. Okay, that's very cool. So if you use this as your basic power, then you're going to do some nice. It looks like it's AoE damage. I don't know that it's entirely supposed to be AoE damage, is it? It may not be intended to be AoE damage, but that's very cool, whether it's AoE damage or just single target damage, because that's going to give you that 50% damage bonus after spinning powers. And of course, you're using your basics when you're out of spirit from having spent your powers, or spent spirit on other powers. Alright, then we've got Dead Man's Hand. This one has been significantly upgraded, and I really enjoy what it is now. Dead Man's Hand used to just, it counted up to 5 cards, and then you just kept throwing 5 cards over and over again. Now it does, there's a portion of energy damage per card, and then fires an additional card per consecutive use. Starts at 2, up to a maximum of 5. So first hit, you throw 1 card, then 2 cards, then 3 cards, 4 cards, and 5 cards. This resets after 5 seconds of not using Dead Man's Hand. And then it's got an explosion damage. Every 5th throw, you'll do a huge explosion damage effect. Now that is, I believe, not tied to the number of cards you have. It's just every 5th throw. And it doesn't, I don't think it resets your cards back to 2, which is sort of, what I thought it might have done to begin with. But there you can see, nope. It just stays at 5 cards each time, and then every 5th throw there's an extra explosion. Now this it may have been before, I think it might have been an extra basic, and now it is your ranged single target spender, which is something he significantly, he lacked in his previous build. So that's going to make ranged build a possibility. Using Dead Man's Hand here as your single target spirit spender. Then we got kinetic control, range powers, maximal spirit, restore spirit per hit. If you max out this, because why wouldn't you? Because you get damage rating. You will have a significant portion of spirit restore on hit, which is pretty nice. Alright, fold 'em. I don't think that has changed at all. No, that was a health potion. I feel like the animation may have gotten upgraded, but then again, I never really used this power before, so I'm not exactly sure what it looked like to begin with. But still pretty visually, I really like this power. Mechanically, I have almost no use for it. Alright, then we've got 52 card pickup. This is his signature, and as far as range spec goes, it remains mostly unchanged. However, it now has a buff effect that's going to make it more appealing for melee players. After using it, remember it's got that channel time of 4 seconds, and I'm not sure if the buff starts after the channel time or when you press the button. It'd be nice if the buff did not start until after the channel was over, because while you're channeling, you're stuck in ranged form, basically. There you go. And then after that explodes, we gain some melee damage. So if I run over here and hit with whatever melee skill I have, this is bow strike, I think, I will do extra damage for 8 seconds after activating that power. Again, I'm not 100% sure whether it starts when you activate the power or after that last explosion for the power, but I'd like to see it in the buff for it start after the channel time ends. That'd be nice. Alright, House of Cards has been upgraded quite significantly. It used to be just a you'd run out here and you'd pop some cards on the ground and then they'd explode. Well, now it has been upgraded with the ability to throw them out. They do damage over time and slow, and then explode for nice burst damage. So you can use this as a ranged or melee character, whichever one suits your needs, because you can throw them down just right there at your feet, and you'll probably be using this as a melee character as well. One thing that I do kind of have to gripe about, I guess, is the cooldown on Ace of Spades is 8 seconds. The cooldown of House of Cards is 4 seconds. Now, this works out because you can just use two House of Cards to every one Ace of Spades and line your cooldowns up pretty nicely. It's kind of nicely. Not really too nicely. I'd like to see them both be 8-second cooldowns, and with this one, just double the duration, make it 8 seconds as well. That's just my personal little input there. I think it would line up with the skill rotation for ranged especially, and melee for melee, because you've got Grand Slam over here with an 8-second cooldown too. So for both specs, it would line up, in my opinion, better if this was an 8-second duration, 8-second cooldown move instead of the 4-second duration, 4-second cooldown move. Alright, next up we've got Good Times Roll, and that's just your basic dodge roll. It has not changed much at all. Sleight of Hand, I don't believe has changed. It just gives you some evade, some projectile deflection, dodge rating, and when you dodge an attack, you do some thorns type damage. Alright, then you've got Cheat Death. Again, don't think it's changed. It's got damage negated on it. That might be new. And then you've got, whenever you are downed, you come back with some energy damage, explosion, and it also gives you some tenacity, which we all know is not really a great stat. Alright, and then crowd control immunity is going to be CC Breaker. Sticky Fingers hasn't really changed at all. Mostly just a 1-pointer because dexterity and maybe the rare find, credit find brought up by skills. I mean, it's fun. It's one of these little flavor skills. It doesn't really need to be all that great. It's there for the flavor, I feel, and giving you that rare find if you stack it up, which is pretty cool. And now we've got Raging Cajun. Now this skill has been changed a little bit to give you a passive effect of giving you crit, hit, and defense rating. The defense rating is new, actually. That wasn't on there last time I looked. But that's going to make him a little bit more survivable in melee spec or even range spec if you're the type that likes to stand in fires or something. But your crit rating is now a passive effect instead of only active when the buff is active. That's going to help a lot in getting the buff back up and keeping it up almost permanently. Then you've got the active effect of energy damage explosions added to all of your skills with a 0.25 second cooldown. it's got a 30-second cooldown on the skill itself, and then, like I said, the cooldown is reduced by 1% or 1 second when you critically hit or brutally strike. And that is, with that extra passive crit damage on there, it's going to be very nice. There you can see the effect of having Raging Cajun going. Alright, now that is most of the skills, and as far as I know, that is where the changes end. I will go ahead and use the ultimate here just to see if there's anything different about it.
Come on down.
It's an incredible looking skill. But other than that, not too much has changed, it seems. It's just going to do some huge energy burst damage, and then summon Rogue out to punch things in the face. Pretty cool. Alright, so that's going to do it for this video detailing the changes coming for Gambit. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to rate, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take it easy, have a good one, peace.